Should Conte leave now? That's the big question for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to walk because he'll want the money. I mean, what's left? There's 5 months left on the contract of the £20 million deal for 18 months. I don't think he'd walk because I probably wouldn't walk either.
Do you know what's
reputationally he might walk?
Do you know what's so
Who
mad?
comes in though? Poch.
Just getting back and Daniel Levy say you're very, very sorry for the last 3.5 years because you should never have sacked him in the first place.
That'd be pretty humble, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to see some. I'd like
that
to
would
see
be
some
a moment for Levy to
humbleness
reflect.
from our board.
Do you know what's insane is from the 20 mil, you've got nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show for it.
You have not got a better team. You don't have a trophy. You don't have anything to show for this Conte era. If he was to leave at the end of the season, there's nothing to show for it. If Tottenham fans want to try and do we finished top 4 ahead of Arsenal, it's not a trophy.
No,
it's not a trophy. And this is why I always have this debate with Tottenham fans about this whole trophy versus top 4 thing. You guys need to get a trophy. This top 4 thing is nothing you're not getting anywhere with it. And the thing is, if you're not going to go and if you're not getting top 4 and then building from it, which Levy's clearly not doing because he's not understanding that top 4 is not a trophy. You need to go and get top 4 and then use that muscle and that power to go and bring in top players to go again. The window that you had,
it's the same
now
cycle.
That you look back at it, you think that wasn't a Champions League window.
It's the same cycle. It's the same cycle every single year, every single manager. We have the same conversation every 18 months. And unfortunately, it does all stem from the board. This is not saying I don't blame Conte. I do blame Conte, and I don't think he should be there. I don't think this style of football fits us at all. He's trying to play this formation with players that aren't good enough. I've said this 20 million times. But it does fall back on the board. Yeah. You know, we were building something with Pochettino. It went stale. Yes, it went stale, from one aspect of him and also aspects of what had gone on the 3 years before that since 2018. No transfers in 2 windows, playing away from home 2 years. We still got to a Champions League final somehow. You sack him 4 months later, you go in a totally different direction to what even the club is about.
Yeah.
You then go and bring in a manager like Jose Mourinho, who, again, if you have a ready-made squad, he'll win you something. Otherwise, what's the point? Doesn't work out. You sack him a week before a cup final, bring in Ryan Mason. Bizarre decision as well. Not that I think we would have won it, but still. Yeah. Then you go and appoint Nuno, we just forget that even happened. Don't know what direction that was. Then you go and appoint Conte, again, he wants a ready-made squad. This is
and
not only that, you've given him
Mourinho.
18 months.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give someone an 18-month contract, you best believe you better have a squad ready to go and challenge. It's mad. Unless you're going to start being in January in the summer, you can have 500 million to spend.
Yeah.
It's never going to work, and that's not me saying that I don't think Antonio Conte is a world-class manager. He is not at Tottenham.
I'm shocked.
He'll go somewhere else and win something like Jose has. It's the wrong club. It's the wrong fit, and the only person that has been a right fit for Tottenham in the last 10 years has been Pochettino, because he came in, he worked with what he had, he bought in youth. When was the last time you saw someone apart from Skip, who actually was coming through when Poch was there, come in? We've still got players that are there from when Pochettino was there. The way the club is managed is so poor, and I get so annoyed because I sit here so often and have this conversation, and there's still people in the fan base that will say, oh, well, it's not just about Daniel Levy, you've got a nice training ground and stadium. That's the bare minimum. You've owned the club for nearly 25 years. Exactly. It's the bare minimum for an owner to build the foundations for a club to be successful off the pitch. You have to match it on the pitch, otherwise what is the point? We're not there to be a number in a portfolio. We're not there to just be one of, there's a football club in this stadium as well. We also do NFL, we do tour, Lady Gaga concerts. No one cares, and this is a football club, and manage it like a football club. And if you can't manage it like a football club, even sell it to someone who will invest the money and wants success, because believe it or not, Enoch and Daniel Levy, if you actually invest properly and buy the right players and back your managers when you need to back them, you'll actually make more money, because you'll be winning things.
Abbi, money spent since May. Thank you, that was very passionate.
That's a great clip.
I love
for the channel. We appreciate
By the way,
that's going straight on the channel.
Can I just say, there's almost 7,500 live viewers right now, guys. It's probably a record, if I'm honest, for this show. Potentially is a record, so make sure you like. We're going to speak about Arsenal quickly. Just one more question for Abbi. Money spent since May 2022. Tottenham 172 million, Arsenal 121 million.
Yeah, they're putting Romero in that, but Romero was there the year before, so I kind of don't class that in there.
Yeah.
Jed Spence has not featured. Destiny Udogie is on loan, so I'm looking at 3 players, right? I'm looking at who?
Richarlison, Romero, Basuma, Spence and Udogie.
Richarlison, the ones that are current, that are actually featuring. Richarlison, who was the other one? Gill.
So this is just since May 2022. Udogodi 15 mil, Jed Spence 20 mil, Basuma 35, Romero 42, Richarlison 60.
Listen, I think Richarlison was a good signing, but again, I don't think it works in this system. We know how good Richarlison can be. You play him down the middle, put Harry Kane behind him. He's the only creative outlet we have in this team. You play a front three, everyone wins. Every single person
4-2-3-1. I don't know why it's not being tried once.
You played Basuma in a 3, where he played at Brighton, much better in a 3. Simple facts.
Yeah.
And tell me how, in the summer, you went and got Longley, and he's not the worst of our problems, he's really not, but still, you were looking at Bastoni, you were looking at Garvadol, you end up with Longley.
Yeah.
How does that work out? And let me just say, because I haven't even said it, Hugo Lloris.
Oh God!
Now I have said this many times.
Peter Cech was for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy.
That is that own goal. Genuinely, I mean, there's been some horrendous own goals over the last couple of weeks. De Gea, there's been Alisson's made a big mistake, but this one is right.
Are you sure Tony's the only one putting these bets on?
Yeah. since 2016, I've read this show. So since 2016 up until last season, so I've now done the maths and added on this season's 4. Since 2016, he is the most error leading to goals keeper with, I think it's he was on 11, so add 4 from this season, so we're on what, 15?
Yeah,
15.
Fallen off.
Now for me, he's been a great servant. Great servant. He was world class a long time ago. He's 36 years old. He is 2 years overcooked.
Yeah.
And the problem is there is no forward planning to that.
Yeah.
You've got Fraser Forster on the bench, who I'm not saying is not a nice keeper, fine, as a backup, but this is not a long-term plan.
Yeah.
We are going to, in the summer, let me tell you something. This is what we need.
Going in, right.
I'm literally shaking with anger. So you need a first choice goalkeeper.
Yep.
You need a backup goalkeeper. You need a right back, a good right back. I'm not saying anything about Jed Spence. I really want him to do well.
If you sack Conte, Jed Spence actually might
start. He will play. But under
if Poch came, he would come in as
play. But you still need another one, because you've got to get rid of Royale and Doherty, who's not good enough.
Yeah.
You need another left back.
Yeah.
I guess that Udogie will come back anyway, but you need another left back. You need 2 central defenders.
Yeah.
We're on 6 now, okay? You need a creative midfielder.
Yeah.
Harry Kane to go to United when Tottenham don't finish in the top 4. You need another striker or 2 to replace Kane. That is 9 players.
Yeah.
9 I can think of.
Levy ain't doing that.
9 players that this team needs, which should have been done. 2 players every single season since 2018, 2019. And now, when Poch left, should never have sacked him, should have given him the backing. Sacking him after 4 months when he got you to a Champions League final on a hope and a prayer, and now anything that was done under Pochettino, everything that was built, it's all gone.
Yeah, it's all gone. Yeah.
And you know what? We start from scratch again.
The one thing I will say that I had you to finish in the top 4 purely because your manager is meant to be a top-class tactician and a world-class manager. Didn't think you'd win a trophy because, as I agree with you, the manager and the club don't fit, and it's clear in the transfer.
And the tactics don't fit.
The transfer policy is clear in that. But for him, the only thing I'll say from this game before praise for Arsenal, for you to play 2 midfielders against their 3.
Mad.
And not 3, because 4. Because Zinchenko tucks in with Partey, and then you've got Xhaka and Odegaard doubling up. So that is 4 midfielders.
Suicidal.
That is 4 midfielders. Barcelona did exactly the same thing. Man City have done the same thing. They go so heavy. Brighton. Teams go so heavy in midfield. 4v2. 4v2. Højbjerg versus Sarr. Is that his first appearance or one of his first appearances?
That was his first Premier League start.
That's insane.
Why have you done that to him?
I'm watching the game unfold. First half, you're getting ripped apart. They're going to Saka constantly. Saka. Saka versus Sessegnon is a mismatch. I call him Leng. Saka versus Leng. Mismatch. Saka is killing them on that right side, but it's so easy to get the ball out to him because Odegaard, as we saw in the Newcastle game, you've got to shut down Odegaard. They're not doing that, so it's just overloads, and Conte just doesn't do anything.
Just before we move on to Arsenal and speak about how good they were, let me just go around the table. Should Conte leave now? Yes.
Yep.
I think
Conte leave now.
It depends on Poch. I mean, to be honest, at this point, you may as well just leave him to the end of the season.
What's the point?
Yeah, he should go.
Now?
He should go now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a difference.
I agree with every point you made, but he has to shoulder blame.
He's not blameless.
Are you in any other competitions? Champions League?
He should
Champions
go.
League? Well, all right, we're going to get knocked out by AC Milan, and I'm so annoyed that I'm going. I can't tell you how annoyed I am that I'm going.
Terrible. Do you know what? If you terrible. I think if you do get rid, you actually have a stronger chance of getting top 4.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know?
He should go.
Probably, yeah.